Yo, what is up, my squad, ladies and gentlemen? Now, while we're on the topic of Daryl Brooks, it kind of sent me through a brainstorm of all the narcissists out there in the world, and it slipped my mind that we did not cover Miss Amber Heard. So, ladies and gentlemen, grab your beverages, get the things you need, and we're gonna dive straight into Mrs. Heard and Johnny Depp, the infamous defamation case. Now, let's get straight into it. If you guys were living under a rock, he sues his ex wife of defamation because she tells some crazy stories about your boy Johnny.
I'm going to take you back, and if you can just tell the jury a little bit about your background, tell us where you grew up.
First of all, I just have to say, this hairstyle that she's rocking, not fucking with it. It's like she's trying to rock the tomboy, but at the same time, the woman of classiness. Like, which way are you going? You have it pent up, you have it dropped down. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like her, but let's get into it.
From Austin, Texas, a small town outside of Austin that you probably haven't heard of. No one has. It's called Maynard. And I was raised by my mother and my father, and I grew up with a little sister, although I have a big sister as well.
And your little sister's name is?
Her name is Whit Heard.
And how much of an age difference is there between the two of you?
Whitney and I are about 1 year, I think we're 16 months apart.
Her name is Whit Heard. She's trying to use this false sense of charm. I swear to God, she thinks she's the best actor in the world, so she's just gonna go up here and lie on your boy, lie on all this stuff when she's the one throwing bottles at him. She's the one doing all this crazy stuff. But anyway, let's just continue.
So, right next to each other.
And what did your father do for a living?
My father broke horses and did construction. He painted houses, and hunted and fished. But that was for fun.
And what did your mom do?
She worked for the state of Texas.
So I'm going to take you up to 2008. Did there come a time that you auditioned for The Rum Diary?
Yes, I auditioned for that in about 2008, I believe.
Please describe for the jury your experience in auditioning for The Rum Diary.
I know at some point she meets Johnny Depp in the movie industry. Basically, he likes her. That's what I'm believing happened.
Well, I auditioned a few times, which is common in my work. You know, you get a call back, as they say. And I think I had at least one, maybe two callbacks with the director. And then I got a call saying that Johnny, who at the time was, I think I knew that he was producing it as well.
He produced it. Yeah. Okay, this is basically how she burrowed herself into his life. The man made a mistake, bro. This lady is nothing but toxic. Now, as this trial progresses, because I do want to cover this, you're going to see just the deceit and the lies just ooze out of her. Right now, I honestly feel like these are the most truthful points in the trial when they're just going over background and how she met him. When they go in deeper into this trial, she starts... Man, this is the ex-wife that nobody wishes they had. This is the ex-wife of horror. For the regular guy, this will take him out. It's over for him. It's a wrap. Johnny's lucky he had the power of lawyers and the amount of money he did. And his reputation will never be the same. It will never be the same because we know all his personal business. So it still is damaged. It's just less damaged.
Was doing a project that was something very personal to him. He was reprising his role as his late friend, Hunter S. Thompson, and it was a very important project to him and that he wanted to meet me in person. I thought I would be going for maybe an audition, but it was just a meeting. I went to his office and met with him for a few hours.
And what did you talk about during those few hours?
We talked about books and music, poetry. We like a lot of the same.
I honestly feel like she is editing her answer even from this point. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm sure, Johnny is the type of guy, if he likes you, he'll get you in the room and, start spitting his game, hello, my lovely, some shit like that. So I don't doubt that, but for it to happen so spontaneously, I don't know. Maybe he just saw her as a work partner at this point.
We liked a lot of the same stuff, obscure writers and, interesting books and pieces of poetry that I haven't heard anybody else reference or know or like. And he was very well read and charismatic. And, I think I left the office with a few books that he gave me. And we spent the whole time just talking about things that we care about. And I was so surprised that somebody, I knew who he was. I wasn't familiar, I wasn't a fan of his work. I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew who he was.
Bullshit. Bro, this is what I'm saying. She probably saw that man. Now, I don't know, but she probably saw that man and she was like, oh, this is Johnny Depp. Oh, he invited me over to the office. I'm going to be the most charming woman out there. He's going to remember my name. That's honestly the type of time I feel like she was on. Could be wrong.
He's one of the most famous people in the world. So it was already a weird thing to go and get called into his office. And
that is weird.
I'm a no-name actor. I was 22, I think, and I thought it was unusual. It was weird because he was twice my age, and he's this world-famous actor, and here we are getting along about obscure books and weird, old blues, and
she's painting this picture. She's an actor, and I swear she's using her training. She's painting this beautiful picture, and then it's gonna all come crashing down. All the drugs, and he started abusing me, this and that, and she's gonna try to get that bag by any means necessary. Right now, she's building that story, trying to make the jury cling on to it. But now, I will say social media played a part in this trial. There was so much talk around this trial on social media. There can't be a way that the jurors weren't affected somehow, be it family members, a post they saw, something. Like, I can't imagine that all the jurors were completely unbiased in this case. I don't care how old the people on the jury were. Johnny Depp, like, that's the name that I think everybody, kind of knows. But yeah.
I thought it was remarkable. I just hadn't really, I thought it was unusual and remarkable. I left there just feeling like, wow.
So did there come a time that you learned that you were going to be cast for the role in The Rum Diary?
Yes, a few days later, my agent said that Johnny's going to call you. We gave him your phone number. I was like, oh, okay. And shortly after, my phone rings, I pick it up, and I hear, this like deep voice on the other line, and he said, "You got the, you're it, kid. You're the dream. Hunter wrote this part, and you're the dream. You're it, kid."
Hunter wrote this part, and you're the dream, kid. You're it. Yes, you're it. I can imagine Johnny calling her up and shit. Yeah, nah. You guys let me know. Do you think Johnny was up in there like, I want some of them cheeks, man. Let me cast this girl. Or do you think he thought Amber Heard was it? Do you think he thought Amber Heard was the dream kid? Do you think he even said that bullshit? You're the dream kid. I can't imagine Johnny Depp saying that. I don't know. It sounds like some square shit, but.
And please describe for the jury what that means. What was the Rum Diary and this Hunter Thompson? What was the concept here, and what role were you playing?
Well, it was my understanding that he was bringing to life his late friend. And what he told me was that this character is supposed to be the dream woman, like the dream, American dream. First stop, the beginning of the tour was Los Angeles, where we both lived, and we did a press day, normal press day, and then at the end of it, I was invited
There's something about these LA girls, man, and Johnny Depp should have known that. He must think they're fun and, you know, they're fast and this and that, but these LA girls, man, they're crazy and they don't care about nothing but money. Bro, you can look like dog shit. You can look like ass. You can have no game. You can just be doo doo. And some girls out here will fuck with you if you got that bread. So Johnny should have known that this girl, you know, right here is no good. But at the same time, you know, Johnny's living his best life. He probably couldn't imagine that he got a complete psychopath on his hands. You know what I mean? A psycho. We're going to hear recordings. We're going to hear glass breaking. This man went through some shit and people were questioning his character. I mean, yeah, everybody knows Johnny does blow. Like, come on, grow up. He's not an abusive person.
By Johnny to come up to his room to have a drink with him and the director of the film. And I went up to the room to see both him and Bruce. But as soon as I got there, Johnny said Bruce wasn't going to make it. So I stayed.
It was two of them.
Johnny and I started talking.
Started drinking.
He asked me about my relationship. I said, well, you know, I'm going through it. I'm going through the separation right now, and it's been, you know, rough couple of months, but that's normal.
Look at that face. It's been a rough couple of months, but that's normal. I don't know what he saw in this woman. In my opinion, she's not attractive. I don't know if it's the face, and I think it's the face. She keeps trying to make this appealing face. I always say it. There's like these tells that people have. Her tell is she just wrinkles her fast. She just mashes her shit up to make you feel like she's experiencing deep emotion when she's really just lying. She's a shitty actor and isn't even that pretty.
And he said, well, that's same with me. You know, it's been, I can't remember exactly how long he said it had been, but that he had split from the mother of his kids and said that he understood.
All right, and then what happened next?
Then we drank red wine and continued to talk, and the talking became us, you know, reconnect. You know, it was like reconnection was almost instant. It was just chemistry. It's hard to explain that. But
somebody explain to me the chemistry between someone who's twice your age. Now, hey, don't get me wrong. You know, older women. Hey, you know, it's a great thing, but I'm just saying, for her, right? She's like 22, maybe a little bit older now, and he's way older than her. You have to think that there's some money involved there. Now I can imagine. Now imagine, you know, I just meet someone who's older than me. We kind of have the same amount of money, but we still really start fucking with each other. That's different. But she's a up and coming. She's a nobody. You know what I mean? He's a everything. He has all the money. He has all the status. That just makes your eyebrow raise. Like, okay, the chemistry was there. Sure.
We sat on the couch and we talked, and you know, it felt like there was it felt like there was an electricity to the room.
Oh God.
And it's how I felt when I was alone with him anyway.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It was instant again. I was like, whoa.
So you fucked that night.
So on the couch, we talked, finished some wine, and then I got up and left. And
okay.
As I went to leave, he grabbed both sides of my face.
So you fucked that
he
night.
Did in Puerto Rico when we were filming that scene, and he kissed me, and I kissed him back.
Of course you did.
And what happened next with respect to any relationship with Mr. Depp?
Well, then we fell in love. We went on this press tour. And
oh yeah. After that night, yeah, they went on that press tour and they were all over each other, huh? Yeah. Man, she is she planted herself in there, man. I'm telling you, from the start. That's my opinion, but I highly believe that it is a proper conclusion. You'll see why later on. This is a crazy one.
It was a beautiful and strange time. You know, we were flying from one, not together, but, you know, going from one city to the next, Europe, New York, Los Angeles, as I said, and we're just traveling around talking about this movie that we did together, that we participated in together.
And you have to imagine, he must think that this is a beautiful thing. Like, oh, she's mature. She messes with me. We have all this in common. I bet you she went home and read some of those novels and some of the poetry he was talking about. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, right? She is an aspiring actress. She probably did work her butt off, and I'll give her that much. But he probably really thought he found one. But remember, Johnny, when they're half your age and you have all the money, gotta think a little deeper, man. You just gotta think deeper. If the money is equal, you're fine. If the money is uneven, you gotta think about it. And I'm talking vastly uneven. Johnny is, like I said, he's a everything and she's a nothing. You know what I mean? He knows everybody in the city of LA. He knows everybody. He has all the connections. She has no connections. She probably has like an agent who's shitty. You know what I mean? So there is a lot to gain. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking a little money. It's influence, power, money. Think about it for Amber.
We were falling in love. I mean, it was just, at the first dinner in London, he sat me next to me. He produced the film and was a part of controlling the film and was responsible for different things than I was as an actor having a small part in it. And we went on this press tour, and I think in London he had me sat next to him at a dinner, and then we ended up spending the night together in my hotel room.
Oh, they went crazy. He went crazy. He did his thing. You do your thing, Johnny. You should have left after that, though.
And for the rest of the press tour, it was on. I'll put it that way.
Oh, it was on, huh?
All right.
You gave him. Let me stop. It's my boy, Johnny, with the swagger, with the earrings, with the $1,000 glasses, the ponytail. That's my boy. That's the homie. That's Captain Jack Sparrow, y'all. Come on, man.
Why
Jack wouldn't do this.
did you decide to confide in your mother about the issues you were having with Mr. Depp?
Softball. They're playing softball with her. They're giving her all the easy shit. Wait till the prosecution tears her shit up.
I felt safe talking to my mom because I knew that she understood these dynamics and she wouldn't judge me for staying with him, for loving him. Even though
She understands these dynamics. She understands that I am leeching. And, if I'm going through some issues, I'm going to stay there for that bread. Trust me.
this was happening and was happening to me, I knew she would understand.
And when approximately did you start confiding in your mom about your issues with Mr. Depp and the physical abuse?
Objection.
Physical abuse, bro. Physical abuse. This lady is insane. She's actually, and this is why things are going to change in the law. I honestly believe that you should go to jail if you lie on a man like that. You know what I mean? It's only fair. If he gets found guilty, he goes to jail. You should go to jail for the same amount of time. Maybe not the same amount of time. You should go to jail for a stiff sentence for lying on a man like that. Physical abuse, his life is fucked after that. It doesn't even matter if he's found innocent. Johnny's life, it's not the same. It isn't. He won the case, still not the same. I promise you it's not.
Say compound.
I sustain as a compound.
Overruled.
When did you start confiding in your mother about the abuse you were suffering at the hands of Mr. Depp?
Here we go. Wait for those. She's going to do a lot of that. That's her. That's going to be her when she's lying. Now, the truthful shit's over with, guys. The truthful shit's over with. I'm stammering because she has me, baffled. You know what I mean?
I was confiding in her from the very beginning about the
Bewildered.
abuse the psychological abuse, the kind of control, the disappearing, the not knowing where he was, then he'd come back and sometimes in the middle of the night, the constant accusations, like that sort of thing. I talked to her about probably from the very beginning. The fact that I was secret, I had to hide.
Buys time. The fact that I had to hide. I don't know, bro. It's just a lot of things about her story from the get-go.
I couldn't tell any of my friends that I was with him for a long time because he told me everyone would blame me for the split with him and his partner. So I had to kind of sneak around and kind of get brought to his house, typically in a secretive way. And then he'd come to mine in a secretive way. And it was just all very, so very isolating. And I confided with her at the very beginning on that sort of thing.
How is that abuse if he's trying to save his reputation? He's like, oh yeah, things ended with the other partner. We're gonna do this privately. The dude has a public image, bro. A very public image. You just gotta move different. You can't move the same way. People will perceive you. His image is his livelihood. And she wanted to put their relationship on blast. That's some groupie shit right there.
Later opened up to her about some of the violence. I did it gently. First I just wanted to have someone to talk to about how scary it was. The rage and the uncontrolled violence, the rage that this man had, and why it was
Objection,
pointed
Your
at
Honor.
me.
Hearsay. May we approach, please?
The rage and the violence of this man and the just rage. She used rage 3 times in that sentence. 3 times, right? I don't know, man. Because after this case had finished, some people were like, oh, we still don't know what happened. Johnny still could have been beating on her. Guess what? Johnny could have been saying a whole lot of shit. Some wild shit. But was he beating on this woman? Hell nah. I don't think he's that stupid. I don't care how high on cocaine you are.
Amber, I'm going to take you up to March of 2013. Can you describe your relationship with Mr. Depp during that month? And we'll start there.
She looked up, bro. She looked up. Her eyes are staying open. Guess what? She's about to try to cry, guys. Let's see if she gets her Alex Murdaugh on. I should say her anti-Alex Murdaugh.
Remember, it was after a period of some peace, and then in sobriety. Johnny was sober, drinking Beck's, and my dad, who was struggling with alcohol and drug addiction at the time, had fallen off the wagon, and I remember he said, why don't we I want to send a picture to your dad of support, because my sister was upset with my dad. And so he poured a shot, and
Okay, hold on. So her story is wild. This is a movie. She wrote a shitty ass script, and it's not gonna fly. She's saying that Johnny was sober. Her dad was sober. Johnny fell off. Not Johnny. Her dad fell off the wagon. So Johnny just is like, oh, let me just cheer him on. Let me just be a terrible influence for him. Defamation. This case, she is continuing his point. She is the face of defamation, bro. He poured a shot in support of her dad falling off the wagon.
And kind of said, let's take a picture. I don't drink spirits, but I know that, I kind of held up in that picture. It's kind of eerie because I just think it's bizarre. He had broken this long period of sobriety that I thought was
eerie,
going to be the end of him drinking forever. Sounds foolish now, but I held up this kind of glass with him, and we sent the picture to my dad.
You see how she pauses right there? Sounds foolish now. He's such a piece of shit. All he does is coke and drink. She's doing this for the jury. This is all for the jury. She thinks that she's this charming belle that, that's like, that can charm her way through anything. She's not. The problem is some women come off that natural. Like for example, Lori Vallow, she came off super naturally, just charismatic, charming, got away with murdering her brother. Just that's a whole other case. But I'm just saying, she is not that. She is not her. You know what I mean? She's a bumbling idiot who's barely good at acting.
because
Watch
I didn't know what
Aquaman,
else to do.
people.
I remember thinking
Watch
it was weird that he
Aquaman.
was drinking, and
It's not good.
And then the month got really crazy from that point on. It was a bit of a revolving door of accusations. He was accusing me of having affairs with, well, frankly, just one person. I had an acquaintance with somebody, and he was accusing me of being with them, and then it was accusing me of being with my friend, the one I had seen in Spain.
Bro, she was fucking everybody on the block. Get out of here. She was even trying to get Elon Musk's kids, man. She was trying to fuck Elon Musk. I think she did. She was trying to get babies out of him. You know, she was fucking on everybody. Johnny was right to be skeptical of your ass. Like, get out of here.
I'm, in these kind of arguments, nothing I do is working. Walking out of the room is me leaving him, walking away from me. Hey, where are you going? I'm talking to you. That it went from that to
Physical, right?
pulling me in by my
There we go.
arm,
Grabbing
still
your hair.
shouting about the accusations. I'm trying to diffuse the situation by trying to tell him I'm not sleeping with this person and I'm not sleeping with that person. And it was kind of, as soon as it seemed as though I had convinced him of one, there was somebody else he was sure I was sleeping with.
No, I mean, Johnny is an eccentric guy, He's a very, what's the word? Unpredictable type of fellow. So her painting this picture about him, some people, there's a portion of people who will believe this stuff, which is why it is important. It was so important for him to bring her to court, because if he had let this continue and it was just all public opinion, he would have been fried, bro. Fried.
And it was a revolving door at the time. A painting I had hanging on the wall, done by my ex, who's an artist. That was one day he was convinced that was proof I was sleeping with her or having an affair with her. I didn't really love him, and all the while I'm madly in love with him and trying to convince him. So March started with this picture of him doing a shot, and he's kind of saying, let's send it to your dad to show support. And what I remember of March is just like it's almost like it was a never-ending fight. It was just, there were breaks in it. What kept me in it is because I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, the sobriety.
No, you kept
shoe,
waiting for that
if
other
you will.
check to
I kept
drop.
waiting for.
That divorce check is a hell of a check, It's a hell of a check, bro.
I just wanted to talk to somebody and figure out how I could make this stop.
And is this a picture that you took of yourself in March of 2013?
I did.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 178.
What did you send her, Mom?
Any objection?
No objection, Your
All
Honor.
right, 170A in evidence, you can publish the picture.
Publish that shit. What are we looking at? That looks pretty tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Looks like he yanked her shit. Okay, continuing.
And how did you sustain that bruise, Amber?
I had thrown Johnny
See,
slapped
there
me.
it is. There it is. I see. I had thrown that is her tell, bro. She's out here lying. Just saying. I just don't think the story is told exactly how it happened. She's rewriting it. But Johnny's just sitting back like, all right, my lawyers are right here, We're going to take care of this shit. Boom, bam. Let's see what happens.
I walked away from him, and that made it worse. We got into like a shouting match. And he kind of did this thing with his body where I could tell he was going to hit me again.
He's gonna hit her
I
again.
picked up like a. I remember it kind of like a little pot, not a pot, but like a vase. And I remember I got away from him enough as he reels back. I threw it in his direction, and actually managed to get away before he got me. He grabbed me by the arm. And he kind of just held me on the floor, screaming at me. I don't know how many times he hit me in the face, but I remember being on the floor of my apartment. And I'm just,
Damn, I didn't know she was saying all of that. She was saying she doesn't even know how many times he hit her in the face. That means he was punching on her. Daryl Brooks in her. Just boop, boop, boop. Like, you don't know how many times? Like, that's crazy, bro. She's I don't even know. Like, she's really telling some crazy stories about him. Like,
I remember thinking, how could this happen to me again?
where them tears at?
Bring up 170.
She tried. Remember, she did that little up look and she was keeping her eyes open. She's like, how can this happen to me again? And no tears. I mean, come on, guys. We know the Alex Murdaugh manual. This is not it. We need to produce tears, guys. We need to have snot and tears. It is required, ladies and gentlemen. Just sovereignly looking down, you know, just like, oh, I'm such a
If
victim.
we can, and just to start, it's 3/23/2013, and if we can scroll up. This is a text message exchange with your mom, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's go, scroll down, I mean.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to hearsay.
Let's wait until we get to the spot. All right, and is this the picture that you sent to your mom on 3/23/2013?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission
Cry.
of 170, just that picture that's on the text. Along
With no words?
Well, it says from 2 weeks ago on it.
Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
Yeah, we want to see it, guys. Come on. We want to see it. We want
If
to
we
see it.
redact the from 2 weeks ago, can we admit it then? And then just have the showing that she sent it to her mom
May
for
we
the
approach,
date?
Your Honor?
Okay.
Oh, they want to approach. All right. Yo, Amber Heard. She is a detriment to anybody who attaches themselves to her. She is dangerous. She is a dangerous person. Look at her with her little suit. Her little suit with her little half up, half down. A dangerous lady. She got her way into Hollywood through Johnny Depp. She got her little roles here and there. Go watch Aquaman, y'all. She ain't that good. I'm letting you know. But anyways, we'll get back to this case. It's absolutely wild. Can't believe I forgot. This is our number 1 narcissist. We got Daryl Brooks as number 2. Nah, we have to put Daryl Brooks as number 1 because he actually caused more harm. She's just a liar. So she's our number 2 narcissist. But anyways, I'll get back to you guys with this. I love y'all. Appreciate you guys for stopping by as usual. Remember, stay inside, stay safe. See you in the next one. Peace.